Hey, 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 all you peoples out there. This is Multiversal Archivist, joined by my good friend, my brother from another mother and father, friend of the channel, David. Say hi, David.
Howdy, everybody. Looking forward to talking Saltburn today.
Yeah!
Doing the deep dive.
Yeah, Saltburn. Barb and Star go to Saltburn College. Saltburn's
Jesus,
at a college, right?
that'd be an upsetting crossover for sure.
Yeah, we are not doing Saltburn. Maybe one day. Maybe in the far future or in the present time. Whenever
Next
you
episode, I'm 90% sure.
Yeah, next episode. We actually don't have something decided for next episode, so it might be Saltburn just by default. Um, I hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope everybody enjoyed our gripping commentary of Rebel Moon Part 2, A Child of Scargiver, or whatever it was called.
The Scar Child of Fire.
Yeah, the Scar Child of
Um,
Fire.
I'd also like to highlight your Doctor Who commentary, which is
Yeah,
doing bufu numbers. It was
yeah.
very good. And it was a delight to listen to. Got me all choked up with the nostalgia, and I'm glad you enjoyed the ep as much as I did.
Oh, yeah. No, it was that episode is it almost might even be a good, like, if you're thinking of just good Stephen Moffat episodes, might be in a top 5 or at least a top 10. I
It's
mean,
it's up there for me. It really hit me.
yeah.
Might be one of my favorites he's written.
It was a blast. It's a really good, just solid episode of TV. The Doctor's he's going above and beyond in that
He
episode. But anyways,
he but we're not here to talk about
we're
Doctor
not
Who.
here to talk about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Not yet. So, what you might want to know, since we're going to plug things naturally anyways, we're going to try and watch some classic Doctor Who after this episode even. Or after this movie. We're going to try and watch the first episode of classic Doctor Who. So, if you're interested in that, the link will be in the card thingy that comes up on the YouTubes. And we'll talk more. We'll probably talk more about Moffat stuff in there because he's a big deal in Doctor Who for both of us for many
hmm
reasons. But yeah, so Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Um, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere right now. I did a good look, but that was like, I don't know, almost a month ago now because that's when we planned it. So I don't know if it's come back anywhere. It was on Hulu for like the longest time, but I don't think it's there anymore. Um,
Yeah, I am now the proud owner of it. So I found it through the alternative markets, I guess you could say. So
I cannot claim anything that can make me held liable. I will tell you that it's that I don't
yeah.
have any ads, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start.
If anyone's asking us where we got Bar and Star, it's like, gee, officer, I'm not sure.
You know what was crazy? So I was in a Twitch chat yesterday, and we were talking about media and digital media versus purchase media and stuff
Okay.
like that, which is a big deal. Obviously, you want to have physical copies of media as much as
Mhm.
possible for the reasons that we see. I mean, I dealt with this a couple of times when HBO Max decided to be HBO Max, and and Time Traveler's Wife got like yeeted out of existence after
Yep.
one season, and then also I couldn't find it, and I was like, well, but I actually liked it, and I wanted to watch it. Um, so
Yeah. It's so crazy to me that you cannot access every HBO show on the HBO streaming service.
it's crazy. Well, I
Yeah.
went in. I was gonna watch Constantine yesterday,
hmm
like Keanu Reeves' Constantine, and it's just gone. And like, I get that they do rotate out their DC stuff. Like, if you go to Tubi right now, of all places, you can pretty much watch all the DC movies except for Constantine, which was really annoying because I really wanted to watch Constantine. But like, so they do rotate out their stuff. But like, the idea that I couldn't just go watch Constantine, a movie that like who is benefiting from it being like not available? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
an
Like,
18-year-old movie, like it's only gonna make money from people who remember it and want to go back and watch it. Like
yeah,
you should just have it up there because it's only gonna generate income. I would feel, but I'm no expert, but it's insane to me.
but yeah, but so the person that I was in the stream. I wasn't on stream, but I was in the stream, and they were talking about how like physical media, was better, and I agree to that. But what I was also counter bringing up is like you don't own you own physical media, but at the same time, like it's under a very specific set of parameters as well. Like, yeah, it's always best to own physical media versus owning digital content because digital content is easier to take it away. But like with
Yeah,
physical media, you still can't make copies of it. Like, and technically, you're not allowed to just like throw it up on a like a Twitch stream, for instance, and just let random people watch it. Like, there are still rules in place for physical
yeah,
media.
rules still apply. It's harder to enforce though. I guess
Yes.
is the
Yeah,
difference in general.
that's the main thing, is that it's harder to
Unless they have like
enforce.
a giant eraser, they can like poke through your window to like scratch
Hmm.
off the disc or whatever. Once it's yours, it's mostly yours till it breaks.
But
And I guess you
no, no, go ahead, go ahead. I guess you can't what?
and like you can certainly like burn copies and
Hmm. Hmm. But you can do the same with digital media too. Like, in the end of the day, as because the whole point was is that people in the chat were kind of like still rebelling against the idea of digital media, and like I get it to a point, but also you kind of have to accept that that's just the times. Like, it's just what we're moving into. Like, my PCs haven't had a disc tray in what, almost 5 or 10 years at this point.
I had to buy disc trays as a physical media connoisseur.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it is the changing times, but I can still find those times sucky and fight them at every turn
Oh
until
yeah.
the bitter end. That's kind of my attitude. Where like, yeah,
See,
no,
where
I'd
I've
rather.
kind of I've accepted it because of also necessity. Because I live in the middle of nowhere, Kansas,
Yeah,
and I can't just go to Walmart and like buy a movie like 9 times out of 10. Or
no,
the alternative is also video games. Like, yes, Walmart will get new video games, but it usually takes them a couple weeks to get it. I've found at this point, and also
mm-hmm.
now that after the what must not be named on the internet, they don't do like midnight releases anymore. So like for
Mm-hmm.
me, especially as a content creator, I kind of have to embrace
Yeah,
digital media because it's the only real way to do this job and keep up with everybody else who is also doing this job in this oversaturated market. Yeah.
no, you're very right. I need to as someone who's in like a bit of a movie mecca, has a lot of video stores, have a lot of video rental places.
Yeah,
Down
see,
the street
you get lucky in that
From a Barnes
regard.
and Noble. I need to check my physical media privilege. I guess you could say.
But it's an interesting. I mean, again, it's just the times that we live in. But
Hmm.
like you said, I don't think that those times necessarily mean that like everything is hunky dory and great. But I do think you have to, in this day and age, kind of like accept that digital media is going to be a thing and is going to keep being a thing, and just take your victories where you can with physical media. Like, I
For sure.
cherish
We're
my.
also pushing for a better world because I do think
Mm-hmm.
like it can be a purely digital world, but we can maybe have better like oversight laws in place to be like, no, when a person buys the thing, it's theirs. Like
Absolutely.
you should not be able to just undo that transaction at your at your pleasure if you're a company. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if they could break into your house and like return a banana you got from the grocery store, and say like, no, here's your dollar, and now I'm taking the banana and going home. There's some, I think there should be this unwritten rule in polite society that like once you've handed the money and they've handed you the product, it's yours, man.
Absolutely. No, I think that should apply for everything too. Like, there should be no I can come back and take something from your domain once it's entered your domain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right. We're
But all
gonna
that
go
to
ahead
say,
and
it was a struggle to get Bar and Star, but we've got it.
yeah, it was a struggle to get Bar and Star, but we got it. And
I'm sorry, it's
also,
Barb. It's Barb and Star.
yeah,
That's
yeah, it's
why I was
Barb. Yes, yes, it's Barb and
Bar and
Star Go to
Star.
Vista Del Mar if you want the full title.
So all I know about this film is it's a wacky comedy. I believe Kristin Wig is involved,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like her.
The
That's
guy
the end
from
of my
It
my
might be
notes.
the guy from 50 Shades of Grey's best movie, which is really funny.
Oh, Kristen Gray is in this.
Yeah, it honestly might, like, I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was trying to remember, like, the last because I was gonna call it. You know me, I'm a hype man. I like to
Mhm.
make bold things about movies, and I was gonna call it the best comedy I've seen in quite a long time. And I was trying to check myself before I wrecked myself, and I was trying to figure out what comedy movies had come out in like the last 5 years. And
Yeah.
it's funny, the only comedy movie I could really remember coming out was Hundreds of Beavers, which would definitely be my favorite comedy movie of
Which
the
I would say,
last
yeah.
like decade.
Not having seen Barb and Star, that would be like my. That's the competition it has to beat. I think
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah, because
The
like
last year did have that. It had a couple of rom coms of some note, like isn't it romantic and Anyone But You? So that's at least like maybe a sign that there's more comedy coming back. I don't know.
yeah, but if you can you what can think of, like what was the last comedy besides Hundreds of Beavers? What was the last comedy movie you saw? Like purely comedy, not comedy action. Because I feel like we moved into comedy action, and I don't really think
Mhm.
comedy action applies. Because if it's just action and the guy's giving funny
It was
liners, or there's
jokes, yeah,
comedy in the action, it's just an action movie with comedy in it. Like
yeah, like Ryan Reynolds stuff, like Red Notice. I would classify those as action comedies. Like, yes, there's comedy, but I would put them as action movies if I were like sorting them on a shelf.
now, funny enough, I would say Hundreds of Beaver is purely comedy. Because even
Yes.
the action in that movie is all to serve the comedy.
Yeah, it's all goof. It's all jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Like, there's not a scene of him like shooting the beavers with a machine gun that's like played straight.
Yep,
Or
exactly. Everything in that movie is done to enhance the comedy of what is going on screen at any given moment. Good movie, by the way.
I'm sure I
If
can think of a pure comedy
yeah,
that came out, but here I'm gonna cheat sheet. I'm gonna go through my. Let's go like just the last year. See what kind of comedies we can find. Yeah, I guess there is like No Hard Feelings, as I mentioned, or Anyone But You.
hmm
Like
romantic comedy, I would say, is enough of a genre to like, because that's a genre in and of itself that kind of went
Mhm.
away and is now maybe coming back. I don't know if it really is. I mean, there were those two movies, but I don't feel like I feel like it's still like nobody wants to touch it. I haven't heard of any new romantic comedies.
Let's see. Okay, there was Bottoms and Barbie. I guess those count. Like a
Is
Bottoms for
Barbie a
sure.
comedy?
I guess not. I don't know. Like a fantasy, but there's that one
I've
is
still not
mostly
seen it.
gag.
I have still
I
not
would
seen Barbie.
mostly classify it as a comedy because
Okay.
there's like a lot of slapstick and one-liners and like we're giggling at the dumb things Ken says.
Yeah.
I mean, there are like heartfelt moments, but I think overall it's there to make you laugh. So I guess yeah. Oh, our favorite movie, Saltburn.
Saltburn is a comedy.
I would not totally classify it as such, but it has some dark comedy. Cocaine Bear, but again, that's kind of action comedy.
Mm-hmm.
American Fiction is very, very funny, but there's also like a lot of like schmaltzy, family drama like grief and loss and love. So like I don't know if I would fully count it. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, again, action comedy.
Yeah, but not purely comedy. Again, I
Yeah,
don't.
it's
I
tough. It's tough.
think.
I'm not seeing a lot that are
Mm-hmm.
just like a wacky studio comedy. Kick and Run, Dawn of the Nugget, but
No,
again,
I would
that's
say Barb and Star definitely a comedy.
all
Like
right. I think
I
that'd be
think
the
it's
winner.
purely a comedy. But all right,
But hey, I will be the judge of that
yes, you will be the judge of
when we
that.
hit play.
All right, so we're gonna count it down, and one will hit play. That should sync you guys up. Again, remember no ads on either side. So if you get out any ads or anything, make sure to skip past them or pause this. But we're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so no ads. So just know that you cannot leave for the
Yes,
bathroom until it's done.
we can leave for the
No.
bathroom though.
Mhm. Yeah, we can. You, the
You
listener,
you
cannot.
can't. You are trapped.
Wow, Lionsgate coming in from the clouds.
I remember when Lionsgate was like everything.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm just googling Lionsgate, which is not fair to Bar and Star.
No, it's
Paying
not.
more attention. Culottes. All right. It's pretty good already. That's setting up the world and the types of people we're going to be hanging out
Yep,
with.
the types of people we're gonna be hanging out with.
The demographic, I guess you could say. Zooey looks like tight already. I like the colors.
Oh, it's so bright.
Mm-hmm. I like a good song to just start off a comedy. Ooh, Kristin Wig, who I haven't seen in something since I think Wonder Woman 1984. So I
She's
need
been in
to.
something recently, but I can't remember. Did you see Cameron Diaz is coming back?
No, what's her deal? What did
She's
she
doing
do?
something with oh, what's his name? Um she's doing an action movie on with Jamie Foxx. She's doing an action movie with Jamie Foxx
Oh
on
yes, yes.
Netflix.
No, which is rad because yeah, good for her. I forget. Have you seen The Counselor?
I think I have.
The crazy Ridley Scott like crime thriller western where Cameron Diaz in a car do some stuff.
Yeah. I think so. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
that's a good Cameron Diaz role. She's like a good psycho villain in that. This kid waving at the horses. Yeah, so far I am enjoying the photography of this a lot, especially because I feel like a lot of the more improv-y studio comedies, like with your Andy Sambergs or whatever, who I do enjoy, but I feel like they look terrible.
Yeah,
They
well,
are
yeah, they do.
they are like very uninterestingly like shot and framed and lit. And this one I'm liking all the bright primary colors and pastel stuff. Oh, wait, and sorry, while we were talking, this kid has like a man from Uncle like face. All right, he's a spy. He's got like so he's doing some kind of get smart thing. Oh wait, is he like a Bond villain?
He might be a Bond villain, yes.
No, I thought that dude was the star of Sugar, James Cromwell, the old dude. But no, just a bearded man. Who's this? I'm just already laughing at this kid in a suit. It's just that's a good joke on like mixing drinks.
I was never a fan of mixing sodas, but it's hilarious.
No, but it does take me back. A friend and I once made a horrible concoction. We decided to go around my house and pour a little bit of every single thing that was liquid. So like, OJ, milk, coffee, but also like a bit of honey, a dash of like
Hot sauce? Did you
uh
get some horseradish in there?
no, we didn't go that
Hair
far.
of the
It was
dog?
mostly still like sweet or bitter, but not spicy. But
I
it
had a
came out.
similar experience as a kid because I used to really like drinking one thing and then drinking another thing. Like I used
Yeah.
to like drinking milk and then immediately after drinking orange juice. So I
Mhm.
thought it was because it all tasted good. So as a kid, I also was like, well, instead of just doing that, I will just put it all. I will put it all in one drink, and it was not as
Yeah,
good an
cut out the
experience.
middleman.
Yeah, I was cutting out the middleman, and it was a horrible experience.
Mhm. Yeah, no, none of that ever works out. Oh no.
No, it was a bad experience. It was not good, even remotely.
Mm-mm. As a kid, and also sorry, I'm missing a lot of good stuff. But
I am
the story
killing this
is
girl.
equally entertaining. We briefly had a snow cone maker
Mm-hmm.
that would shave the ice, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it had little uh, cones attached to it, and it had two bottles of like the sweet syrup, the blue stuff, and I would walk into the closet and just take shots of the snow cone syrup until a family friend narked on me. Like we were all hanging out, like the kids of two parents, and one of them, yeah, saw what I was doing and immediately squealed. Which, in retrospect, is probably a good idea because that might have saved me from some diabetes.
Yeah. No, more than likely, yes.
Like everything plain, plain Pringles are the best. I had a crush on Mr. Peanut. I'm sorry. I don't want this to just turn into me saying what the jokes are that we just heard, but those were good. I mean, we're essentially doing a commentary on ourselves because this is us.
Yeah, this is us in a couple of years.
Talking about whatever crazy things on our mind. Good friend for telling me.
I love this accent voice she's doing as well. It's so funny.
Kristin Wig is like, I mean, both of them, but like, yeah, Kristin Wig is like the master of the like slightly annoying but charming accent. Very like Kristen Wiig in that Mother movie where she like mass executes people. When
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
She's like good and scary in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm highlighting like the non-comedy roles in this comedy podcast. Uh-oh. We don't want to be Severanced. I like this premise that they just enjoy hanging out at work.
Just talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, this is about being 40.
Listen, man, 9 years away.
Oof.
We're still Talk to me again at the 5-year mark, and I might be spinning out and buying a convertible.
Exactly. Let's see how much how much of a midlife crisis we get. This is like we're living the prequel to Barb and Star at the moment. Now this lady, is she a Big Bang Theory?
I don't think that's Kaylee Kuko, but it does look like it in the eyes.
I used to be very like into this era of like alt comedy. A lot of like I would listen to a lot of Comedy Bang Bang and similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
improv podcasts. But I'm a few years out of practice, so I'm probably gonna miss a lot of these like walk-ons. I also have not followed SNL religiously for many years, so I could not tell you.
Did you see their Beavis and Butthead skit?
I did, which
That's
was
the
which was
last.
rad.
That was the last one I watched, which was,
Mhm.
to be fair, hilarious.
Like an all timer, yeah, of just breaking character for
Yeah.
5 straight minutes. Yeah, I could not tell you like I couldn't name more than one or two of the current cast members and all that.
Oh no! I never was a big SNL guy. I'll tune in for one of their bangers, but I don't usually follow it religiously because I've heard it's such a grab bag. Like 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
it sucks, but sometimes it's the most amazing comedy thing ever.
No, even in like the quote unquote golden age, it was like a lot of because it's 90 minutes and they're writing
Mm-hmm.
an episode a week, so it's gonna not be
Yeah.
the highest quality control. Aw, Phyllis from The Office.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Busy all year round at the Christmas store.
Yep, I believe you. They're just talking about their jobs. Can't tell them what happened today. Character sucks.
I wish you dressed me.
I just don't have time. I also like that furniture store is the hottest place in town. They're less charmed as the story's going.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I thought they'd made it work. We both got a promotion.
This woman and her horse.
This house is also. Go ahead.
I know her remembering the story perfectly. It's just so funny.
The 3 major rules of Talking Club. No swearing except the F word. Oh no.
I'm surprised one of the rules is you don't talk about talking club.
Yeah, yeah. The first rule of Fight Club: be yourself and have fun. This also is a horrible, sad, like woods suburban house, which I do appreciate. Like, just a lot of lame knit stuff. Kind of reminds me of did you get too far into that Cabinet of Curiosities show, the Del Toro anthology?
No, was it? Is it any good or is it
There's like a there's it quality varies wildly, but the good episodes are like really
really
good.
good?
Yeah, and there's one that's similar to this kind of like a rural woodsy kind of house and like a lot of permed hair and
Oh yeah, yeah,
that sad lady's life. Not that these guys are too sad. Well, they're sad now, but I don't mean
yeah.
listeners at home. I don't mean to be classist or judge you guys for your country ways.
Listen, I live in the middle of nowhere, so I can judge you all, and you do get my
Yeah, but
judgment. I've been here long enough I've been here long enough that I know all of you.
this is like Grandma Woods, middle of nowhere, not
Yes, yes,
like
yes, yes.
because I also grew up in the suburbs of rural Florida
Yeah.
where we could walk to the Merritt Square Mall or whatever.
Dude, that meme still makes me laugh every once in a while. It pops back up on my feed because somebody from our area has posted it, and I'm just like, "Yep,
I think we discussed this in passing in our Conquest episode, but yeah, we have a lot of fond memories of a dead mall.
yep." Which was dead even before dead malls were a thing, because that
Yeah,
mall
so
was always that
even
mall
when
was always dead.
it was dying before it, like when it should have been thriving. There was never a good times for it. He was a real killer. He was trying to kill him. Have you ever had any crazy encounters like at a were you ever into like Halloween Horror Nights or Haunted Hayride or anything
I
like
went so you know me. I didn't like horror for a really long time. It was only when Paranormal Activity came out that I became a horror person.
that?
So
Yes, and every
before that, I was totally a scaredy cat about that stuff. That being
yeah.
said, for reasons I don't entirely remember, I actually did go to a Halloween Horror Nights when I was a kid. I went with my cousin and my uncle, and it wasn't like I don't remember anything crazy happening, but I hated it because I'm super susceptible to jump scares.
Yeah.
Like you can just walk up to me, and if I'm not paying attention and you touch me on the shoulder, I'll jump. So
Yeah,
actual
and
scares are horrible for me. So it wasn't a good experience in that regard. But you might remember. Well, actually, this was probably before you and I met. I actually volunteered at the Brevard Haunted Zoo event.
oh, cool! I did. I think if you mentioned that, I forgot. That's awesome. If you've ever
But yeah,
told me.
so I was part of that. Like, and we did there was like a horror walk, and I was part of that team. And yeah,
Were you
would dress
scaring
up
people?
and like I would dress up and jump out at people, and that was my
That's
yeah, that was fun. Now that was fun. That was a ton of fun.
Also, that packing montage was beautiful.
I know.
I like their collection of checks in the corner.
I like the wooden clock.
Yes, I like this idea that this will be a good balance. When Bar and Star discuss a topic, we will discuss our
Another
own take on
topic.
that topic. So it'll be like a little bit of an Inception thing. There'll be like best friends in the movie talking, and then we will out here be creating another layer. Listeners at home, you got to watch this with your bestie and start talking over our commentary, and just keep that Russian doll going.
Yeah. The nesting egg of
Yep.
topics.
So that is Christian Grey,
Yeah,
her guy
Jane
buddy. Okay.
Dorian himself.
Good for him, because I feel like Dakota Johnson kind of stole all his thunder. Uh, so I'm glad he's still like hanging out, doing movies. With he's actually now more in the spotlight than I guess like Kim Basinger, Mrs. Robinson herself. What? They're like CGI mice. I'm getting flashbacks to Cats, which we should do as a commentary. Though those mice were like adorable and like Stuart Little-esque.
Yeah,
Or at
not
the time.
what the unholy
Well,
abominations.
exactly. They're like living nightmares in
Yep.
Cats. Did you know that in the book Stuart Little, he is born of humans?
Yes,
Like
I vaguely remember that.
in the movie, he's at an orphanage and they adopt him. But in the
Yes, and then
book, the
his
idea
then when
is
he
like
becomes famous, his fake parents come back.
yes. Well, and now and also the second Stuart Little movie, he falls in love with a bird who's like kind of doing Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo to him. Like it's a weird femme fatale like noir movie, which is very odd.
I haven't seen Stuart Little in probably a decade.
Those movies are very weird.
They are very weird, but the book is very weird too.
It's
So
even weirder, yes. The first one written by M. Night Shyamalan, which is something. Okay, we sort of broke a rule because we're not talking about whatever they're talking about.
they created an imaginary person named Trish who was their best friends, and they've created a full
Oh,
backstory for her and the time that the plane ride.
oh no! And now she's dead.
Yeah, now she's dead.
That's great. Sad but funny. Hitting every rock on the way. Ooh. All right, R.I.P. Trish.
R.I.P. Trish.
Hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're back in our old stomping grounds.
Yep. Though I never really partook in the like beach resort community type stuff.
Oh, see, my grandfather had a condo
Ah.
that we would go to a lot. It's funny. It's the condo was my first experience of boobs because a lot of Europeans would go to Miami and would
Right. Yeah.
vacation there, and the condo had a pool, had a like rooftop pool and jacuzzi. And I remember I was sitting in the I was just sitting in the jacuzzi at like 8 or 9, and all of a sudden these two older women came up, like 40s, and just casually just like threw off their bikinis and got in the water, and I was like, "Whoa, man, boobs!" And
That's wild.
My mom came over, and she was so mad at them, and they just didn't understand what problem she had with it.
I mean, hey, different strokes and all that.
Yep. Oh, it was so funny. Meanwhile, I was just like, boobs! I don't know what they are about, but I know I'll like them in a couple years, so.
Jesus Christ. All right. Moving on to Tom Lennon doing a little dance. Well, no, I didn't experience any of that. The only Florida beaches I went to were like the sad sack ones, with
Oh, yeah, the ones where it was just like, dodgy lifeguard area,
exactly and
and.
like rotting wood piers.
Yep.
Yeah, none of this like Playa Linda, Cancun type stuff. Aw, Jamie
James Dorian.
Dubek or whatever. Recovering from my divorce here. The fool has glory. This is a good musical number. Now, do you know what this movie is rated, Tanner? Speaking of boobs,
I don't remember what this movie is rated.
is this a hard R? Or
No, it's definitely not a hard R.
For all ages entertainment. I figured as much because they said the F word as the F word, so I assume we're not like. This is not a raunchy comedy, right? We're not going to be like projectile vomiting, getting into like Corky's hijinks.
God damn it, Jerry.
Jerry, you killed DJ Roomba. He was like a son to me. And not Corky's, Porky's is what I was getting at.
I've not seen. I don't think I've ever seen a Porky's, but I did. God, what was it? A couple of years ago, I saw that, like, what people consider the best of the raunchy comedies, and it was a bunch of. I don't remember the name, but it's about a bunch of older dudes who go to a beach to pick up young women.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? I can't
yeah.
think of the name, but and it's got like a one-word name too.
Ah, geez, I'm losing my powers because yeah, I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up when
There
we.
is the horrific "Blame It on Rio," where it's like Michael Caine and another old dude, and they're both after each other's daughters, which is not great. But I don't think that's not the one.
No, I gotta look it up now. It's gonna drag me to pick up younger women.
Raunchy beach comedy, old dudes.
Hard Bodies. That's what it
Yes,
is. It's
there you
Hard
go.
Bodies. Yeah, and he hires a beach.
Yeah,
They hire beach bums to pick up women.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you also watched? Didn't you watch Revenge of the Nerds recently for the
Oh
first
man,
time? And were you shocked at
look,
how many sex
I'm about
crimes
to get a. I'm about to get a hard R right now, but fuck that movie. I thought
Yeah,
that movie was the greatest movie ever as a kid, and obviously it
yeah,
was because I was a teenager and it had boobs in it. But like
yeah, for sure.
that movie is horrible. Everybody in that movie is a bad person who deserves to have something bad happen to them.
They're all like Ramsey Bolton from Game,
Yeah, they're all horrible.
but it's played as like a fun
And
comedy.
then and then there that rant at the end where they try and make them they try and give them the same feelings as black people. Oh, it's I was watching that and I was just like, what? Why did I? Yeah,
I've mentioned I've mentioned this before, but you have to watch American Splendor if you haven't with Paul Giamatti.
I have
'Cause that
not.
his hatred of Revenge of the Nerds is like a running bit throughout that movie, and I think you'd find it very like cathartic. His uh his rants about it. Also, one of the best comic book movies ever made. It's an adaptation of some dude's comic of Harvey Pekar. Costco. And Kristen Wig's hat and the earrings. She has got it going on. Sorry, that Kermit got me. What
Feel
Kermit
stuffed
uses legs.
humanity.
The fried eagle, baby. Jesus. It's always the husband. Oh, this is kind of reminding me, Tanner.
Mm-mm.
Maybe you can help me with this musical genre I don't understand.
What's your musical
Uh,
genre?
Yacht rock.
What is yacht rock?
So, Steely Dan counts as yacht rock from what I've gathered.
Is it just music you listen to while on a yacht, or is it boat
As
music?
far as I know, that's essentially it. It's kind of usually like smooth R&B or like light jazz is usually the vibe, and the idea is that yeah, it would be like something rich people would listen to on their yachts. So,
That is fascinating. I
but
get boating
I've always
music,
been
but like, is boating music the same as yacht music, or is
I'm not
yacht
sure because
rock?
I don't think like Jimmy Buffett or whatever. I think it has to specifically sound a little bit like 80s Miami Vice, but like super light and kind of fluffy. But I'm always having trouble with it because I'm like, so is it just like, for example, on Wikipedia, it says Steely Dan, Fleetwood Mac, the Doobie Brothers, Supertramp, Kenny Loggins, and Toto. But those are all very different sounding bands, I feel. So if it's just music that's good to listen to on a boat, I'm not sure how helpful that is as like a class, a classification. So, I'm very frustrated by yacht rock. Maybe I'm wrong,
No,
listeners.
no,
Let us know.
no. I gotta look this up now. This yacht rock is
Yeah,
fascinating.
because I kind of know what they mean, but then when I see the list of bands, I think that's way too diverse to really be very helpful. I don't know if you remember, but I got into I went on, when Steely Dan sort of had a return, I kind of got into them for a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. I think it was actually because the Suicide Squad trailer they played "Dirty Work." I got everybody back on the train. That's my theory. Anyway. Oh no, are they gonna seduce Christian Grey here? 'Cause that would be kind of cool.
I don't know.
I think so. I think we're setting up a love story because him and that Bond villain lady
Aren't
aren't
working
not
out.
long. Yeah, aren't probably not working out.
He hasn't read that book. She's just not into you.
Yep. I gotta listen to this poem or this gift. Aww. I need to rewatch this movie as a middle-aged man
Yeah.
someday. See how relatable I find it. But not today. That's like Tyrio from Game of Thrones. What do we say to the god of middle-aged?
Not
Not
today.
today. I like her pineapple earrings too. I didn't expect her to be such a fashion icon in this movie. I mean, both of these hoop earrings, like on both Barb and Star, are terrific.
The palm leaf. What is that one? Palm leaf? Leaf?
I think she's
Leaf? Some
got
kind of leaf.
kind of palm tree fronds, perhaps. Speaking of Florida, picking up palm fronds, that was a task I had to do a lot. The buried treasure. Yo ho ho, no one's ever finished the whole thing. Oh, speaking of, did you hear the Pirates of the Caribbean news?
No, well, I heard about Austin Butler, but
They just announced that they're going to do two movies. It's going to be the Austin Butler one and the Margot Robbie one. Like it might
ooh,
not end up being Margot Robbie, but there's going to be a
Female Jack Sparrow and
a
a...
male and a female-centric one, and they're going to be two separate ones that are going to come out like almost, in close proximity to each other, which is kind of crazy. And I think you should just mush those two together.
Yeah, no, that should just be one movie.
Imagine Austin Butler and Margot Robbie like
Both being like
swashbuckling.
Jack Sparrow type people too. I'd be down for that. Oh, you're about to. This is getting. Look, you're about to hear the dance music you never thought you needed until now. Silence. You gotta listen to this.
Ooh. The Titanic.
They made the Titanic music into club music. Which was instantly when I was like, this is the greatest movie ever.
Oh my god, this cut back to the lame ladies club is so good. Middle-aged lady friends. This is a lot like the club Smithers is at in that one Simpsons episode where they're playing Frankie Goes to Hollywood in the background. My heart will go on. When I saw cheeseburger in the lyrics, I thought we were gonna. When I thought cheeseburger in the lyrics, I thought we were gonna get some Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, yeah, wow, there's still time, isn't there?
It's true. Are you a parrot head, Tanner?
I like some Jimmy Buffett. I don't know if I'd call myself a parrot head, but...
Nah, nor am I. And I don't know if he's yacht rock. I guess I'll have to find out. With tongues. I do kind of feel bad about that for that supervillain lady.
Yeah.
She just got betrayed. What a nice man.
Pookie McTally's trinket hut.
You're gonna put it on the landline? Freaking clam with googly eyes. They're excited by that googly-eyed walnut.
Oh no, he lost the MacGuffin.
Yeah, he lost the thingamajigger.
The thingamajigger.
Oh, we're getting another number. So is this a musical? I think it is. If there's been 3 musical sequences so far, I think it counts.
I think it counts.
Oh no, he's on the road to nowhere.
I know. This was clearly the genre that this guy was meant for. Not 50 Shades of Grey.
No, being a goofy guy in movies, but still like a heartthrob. Yeah, he was not to be mean, but he was did not wow me in those 50
No.
Shades motion pictures. Well, I only saw the first one, so I cannot. No, wait, I think I must have seen the second one because I remember Kim Basinger as
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson, so I've seen at least one more. We've discussed this before. Twilight, I'm actually like. I've watched many times that series. I have a fondness for it.
Yeah. Well,
50 Shades,
yeah.
I find crushingly boring.
The sequel shot.
We'll go on the sequel. That man's name. What wheat thins? Oh no, there's trouble a brewing.
There's trouble brewing between these friends.
Yeah. Something's come between them.
And it's a man. It's always a man.
Yep.
But no man will ever come between us.
No, unless it's Matt Smith.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you know what? You just had to draw the one man who.
I'm saying, like, look, if Matt Smith was like, look, Tanner, it's me or David, my way or the highway. You would have to make a life decision.
Yeah, I would have to make a big life decision.
He's writing with like this old timey quill.
I was born in a hospital.
Hospital. I don't know, the person you love loves you even though they don't. It's very good. Ooh, I wonder what famous person this is going to be, if anyone. He's like this conspiracy board. Dang, he's got like a silencer spy gun.
Rod Quicksilver.
Rumors he was chemically off. Died a quick death. Again, this movie looks terrific.
I know.
All these blues and neon and
It's
pastel.
very Florida too. Like this is
Yes, yeah, I'm also nailing the the timeshare side of Florida, I feel. Which again, didn't have much personal experience.
I
but
feel like
know
we
many-
missed. I feel like we missed the timeshare experience. I've never been contacted about a timeshare.
No, I wish I
I
got
wish I
taken
had.
for a ride.
Wish I had been invited to a luncheon that was secretly a timeshare.
Yep. And there's a very good like psychological thriller from Mexico from a couple of years ago called Timeshare, which is like what if a timeshare was kind of a get out situation.
Oh, that's
And Walt Jr. from Breaking Bad plays like the motivational speaker guy who's running
I've
the
seen.
timeshare.
Oh, I've seen clips of that. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
clips of it.
It's kind of a cool movie. Probably exhausted from working. Oh no, she's not there.
Now she reject. She rejected Jamie Dorian. Uh,
Yes,
yes. We'll see if Barb does the same.
Doreen.
Doreen.
Jamie Dorian Gray.
Carmine Testaviglia.
Hermione had a foot fetish. You little pieces of rice. A very disturbing way to describe your toes.
Very weird.
They're doing the same thing. Uh-oh, they're being monitored by the mystery man. Aww. They're both good friends.
Yep. I ruined that pillow.
That pillow. He's kind of killing this.
I know.
This here Jamie Doorknob. Jamie Finding Dory.
Yep, Jamie Finding Dory. There is a sequel to Finding Nemo that's called Finding Dory, right?
There is indeed. She like teams up with an octopus.
That can't be good, right?
I don't remember it. I have like the short-term memory problem that Dory has. Like,
Did you see it then?
I do. We like see her as like a little kid, and she gets separated from her parents. And I think it's at a like a water amusement park, like sorry, like a SeaWorld type place, is where a lot of it's set. Um, and yeah, it just went right through me. I think that was one of the very last Pixar movies I watched before I like stopped doing it as a regular thing.
Mmm.
There
Yeah,
was a time
Finding
where I
Dory
was
will
like,
do that to you.
yeah, where I was like, I gotta watch every Pixar movie, you know, the highs and lows. That's why I went to Cars 2 in theaters with a friend.
Cars 2 in
And
theaters with a friend.
Hmm.
That's a scary collection of words.
No, Cars 2 in theaters with my friend. Halfway through, he turns to me and says, I don't think I can take this. Like, it's the closest I've come to walking out of a movie, because basically we walked out into the lobby, and I kind of talked him off the ledge after 5 minutes, where I'm like, look, we paid, it was a bad idea, but let's go back and finish Cars 2.
I have walked out of a movie before.
Which one?
Do you remember the movie with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler where she's gonna have Tina Fey's baby?
Baby Mama, right?
Yeah, Baby Mama. I walked out of Baby Mama.
Wow, that one just ripped through that.
I could not stand it.
I don't think I've ever seen Baby Mama.
Yeah, it's not a good movie. And then I
Yeah,
almost walked out of Bucket List, but I convinced the person I was taking with to finish it. But we almost walked out of Bucket List too.
it was sad, or because you weren't just not enjoying it?
I don't remember. I really couldn't tell you why, but like I do very distinctly remember being like it was like a dead theater. So I was on the floor and almost half asleep by the end of the movie. So it must have been a boring movie.
I remember speaking of Florida, like our high school English teacher, she like came in one day and was like, I've been trying to teach you guys about how to write and like, storytelling and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Say no more. If you want to watch one movie that just sums it all up, it's The Bucket List. That movie is the perfect story. And I was like, what? Of all movies, the Bucket List? Really? She was like really high on that movie. Was talking it up as like, guys, you will get straight A's forever if you just follow the lead of The Bucket List. This is also reminding me of Josie and the Pussycats, because I believe the villain in that one also turns out to be a white skinned person, if I'm remembering right. White devil. Asshole. Took food from her culture.
Really gobbled her up.
So her telling the story to this kid. He was trying to get to the front, but he couldn't. Oh, death. Tragic backstory.
That ball of fresh mozzarella comment
Gotcha.
gets me every time. And the Disney cruise ship line.
Playing the spy guy.
Huh?
I said, who's playing the spy guy? I like him. It's all masked, though, so I can't tell.
Whoever could it be?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Did you get it?
Is that a Wayne's
That
brother?
is definitely his Wayne's brother.
Right. That's cool. Oh no.
I know.
The deception. Now notice, unlike Rebel Moon, I'm not talking about all the sci-fi movies. This reminds me. Well, I guess I could. I could be like, oh, this is totally like Don't Worry, Darling. And this is like The Host with Stephanie Meyer. Or
The
Stephanie
host
Meyer,
with Stephanie Meyer.
The Host.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I guess I was thinking about sci-fi movies about women.
Nobody's thought of the host as nobody's thought about the host by Stephanie Myers in at least 20 years.
Side notes. She was gonna. That was gonna be her next series. She was gonna write like a whole trilogy or whatever. That didn't happen. Like people complain about how George R. Martin never, won't finish his books, but nobody's like, "Where's the next two host
Two
books?"
host
Stephanie?
books, yeah. You could demand it from him.
Nobody's getting annoyed at her.
Did you we've she her movie where she just where her book where she just gender bends
Yeah. Twilight.
Yeah, the Twilight people.
Yeah.
There's a really Dominic Noble, who's a really great YouTube channel for those listening. He's really really good. But I get he did a whole like rant on it, and I really wanted to read it just because I was interested. But apparently, she doesn't change anything in it. Like it's literally just them.
She just like control find and replaces all the he's with she's and vice versa.
Supposedly, yeah. Like they're really the only thing that's changed of it is because it's clearly not going to be a multiple series.
Yeah, she's not going to do this for all 5.
Yeah, so the only thing she really changes is the fact that in the book, instead of the Edward, the whatever Edwina and whatever the whatever
Bello?
Yeah, Bella, what is it in Bo or something?
I don't know.
But anyways, male human Edward becomes a vampire at the end of that movie, which is freaking hilarious. So basically what she does is she does the ending of the first book and then just does it where they can't save Bo at the end or whatever. So Edwina has to turn her into him into a vampire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it just closes the loop.
Like, yeah, it just closes the loop basically.
There's not going to be a gender swap new moon.
Nope.
And I guess the pregnancy would be a hard thing to rewrite. Like, would it be the girl Edward who becomes vampire pregnant? It would kind of throw off the whole thing. So that's something, at least I guess. She was just like one and done. I'm out.
Yeah, but you should watch, and just anybody should watch his How to Convince Someone You Love Them. But you should.
Because she also wrote that Midnight Sun book, right?
I think so.
Which was from Edward's POV, so she's just been...
Well, she wrote The Short Life of Brie Tanner, too, which is also from the random point of view of that Jessica girl who was only in it for like a minute.
At least that is an original story set between them. I'm saying she has written now 3 versions of the first Twilight book.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And Gender Bend Twilight. So she's one of the few... listeners, comment. Are there other writers who have written that many versions of the one book they have? Aw, she's getting a love interest. Oh, and it's Miami Vice.
Yeah.
It's Don Johnson, I think.
Garcia, isn't it?
No, you're right. Andy Garcia.
Yeah, it's Andy Garcia.
Too, I got excited for Croc. Crockett there, but no. Andy Garcia's alright too. Star of Godfather 3.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, he's like one of the main dudes in Godfather 3, if you ever get to it. He also showed up in... Remember he was in Passengers for One Shot?
Yes, he's in Passengers for One Shot.
It's crazy. He's like the captain of the ship, and they like show him walking down the like ramp and looking.
Well, they do the same thing with Lauren Fishburne too, technically.
Yeah, and never appears again. You are a phoenix. I like his Crocodile Dundee hat. You know, one thing I don't want to wait for middle age to do, I gotta confess, I've always wanted an old man walking stick.
Yeah, you gotta get your old man walking stick.
Yeah, I should not wait till I'm an old man. I should do that like tomorrow. Go out and buy me a cool walking stick.
Can you believe she met Tommy Bahama himself?
That's pretty insane. What's gonna happen to poor albino lady? I will say that if there's a flaw of the movie so far, is that I feel like a little too bad for the villain, and not as fun as if as it
Yeah,
could
but
have
she's
been.
clearly not into him, so.
Well, yeah, she's a jerk to him, but I don't know. I feel just kind of sad for that character, and it makes some of the laughs more muted, I guess.
All he wants to do is become an official couple.
Hmm. Let's see. There's like half an hour left. So I know there's got to be that's sort of roughly the part in most comedies where the friends break up
Ha!
because they find out they've been lying, or their conflict comes to a head. So I feel like that's about to happen right now. I know that because of I'm an expert on storytelling because
Yes,
I've
because you've
watched
seen Bucket
Bucket
List.
List so many times. Yeah.
All you do is watch Bucket List all day, every day, and take notes. Like that
That's what
dude, on Twitter that I showed you that posts the same picture every day that Mary Jane and Peter aren't together. And has been doing it for 5 years. And that's all their Twitter account is.
it's crazy because like people do that for politics. They're like, oh, it's been day 131 since the Republicans have refused to fill that vacant Supreme Court seat or whatever. So it's funny that dude is like doing the activist thing, but about how MJ and Peter Parker need to be together. He's not going out and like joining a union or striking. He's
No.
fighting. He's fighting for Peter Parker and Mary Jane to be together in the comics.
Yeah, every time it pops up on my screen, I just scroll past the picture just to see if like he's maybe put another thing out there, but nope, it's just the same picture and the day count.
Or also, I am loving this like Shakespearean crab.
Morgan Freeman with a D, so it's
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
jeez. Star of the bucket list. It all comes full circle. That kid is long gone. Now, there's another movie with a talking crab with Sarah Michelle Gellar, which is what I call her.
Yeah, you just call her Galar, right?
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and the star of Angel is David Baroniez. Um, Microchip is inside like this Uber Eats kind of. But I'm trying to remember. It's another rom-commy kind of movie, and she talks to a crab in a scene. I'm just gonna Google Sarah Michelle Gellar
Talks
crab.
to crab.
Simply Irresistible,
Oh,
where she is like a chef who's like running a struggling restaurant, and I think she like gets advice from a talking crab.
so like a Ratatouille situation.
A little bit, like it's the crab she's gonna cook or whatever, and I think it like talks and is like, "Hey, you just gotta follow your heart" or whatever. Yeah, I don't think it's like controlling her with her hair like Ratatouille. Well, that would be kind of cool. I just know Pixar is gonna do a Ratatouille 2 someday, and it'll be very unnecessary.
I couldn't. What would a Ratatouille 2 even look like?
I don't know. You'd have to. Maybe it would be. Oh no! Sorry, I'm too heartbroken right now
You were absolutely right. You did call it.
to speculate. Yeah, I can't speculate on Ratatouille 2 right now. Maybe like they were gonna do that Drive 2 where it was gonna be Ryan Gosling versus an evil driver.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe it'll be like him and Linguini versus like an evil rat chef combo. But they're like a Guy Fieri type chef, maybe like more.
Yeah, like they're the popular chef.
Yeah.
Is the end of Ratatouille, he gets his restaurant no matter what, right? And people are just cool with the health code violations?
Basically, like, yeah, the when it comes out that rats are cooking,
Food.
it gets shut down and no one eats there anymore. But the Anton Ego, the evil critic who changes his heart, he like buys the restaurant and basically is the only customer, if I'm remembering right. So it's
Oh,
kind
so
of
he
like,
just bought a restaurant for himself.
yeah, because he's still so impressed by the chef, and he basically kind of makes like a principled stand, like I'm gonna be the first guy to be like, hey, I don't mind if a rat is a chef if it's this good. So it's
What
kind of nice.
a...
It's like a society's change, changes very slowly, like one person at a time. Um, but maybe his standing up for the restaurant will make more people eventually come around to like, I'll try the rat restaurant. Why not? Or maybe I'm misremembering, but I think that's how it goes. The belief he ordained. What? Ones with the fluffy hair and the culottes. Oh no, Dr. Lady is lying to him.
Yeah.
Also, I like that her name is Dr. Lady.
HPV.
Ooh, Portugal. You know what? That makes this the prequel to Poor Things. That's where Mark Ruffalo absconds with Emma Stone too for their passionate affair. And they're good spies.
Coolets, coolets, coolets.
Wait, I'm sorry. I somehow missed this. The villain is also Kristin Wig?
Is the villain also Kristin Wig?
I might be
I
wrong.
can't tell with the black wig. It really throws off the facial
I
features.
believe so.
But it's probably right.
Yes, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and I think I only just put that together. So that's very impressive of Kristen Wiig that she tricked me for almost the entire runtime of the movie. Just when I thought I couldn't respect Kristen Wiig even more.
I think this is all based off like characters they play on an SNL sketch too, as well, which is kind of hilarious.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
I
it's an
don't know for
SNL.
certain, but I think that's. I remember vaguely that that's the case.
I would buy that because they're always trying to make those SNL movies happen, like the MacGruber and the Night at the Roxbury, at the Wayne's World. It's Pat. That's a rough one. That movie's only like 75 minutes, but it feels like 3 times as long.
Which one?
It's Pat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they made a movie version of the It's Pat character, and yeah, I remember that being very, very boring. And allegedly secretly written by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like supposedly during his early like Hollywood like scriptwriter for hire days, he wrote the It's Pat movie. Speaking of Tarantino, this is a very like Tarantino setup, pointing the gun. You know what would make a good commentary? 4 Rooms.
Oh, really? Yeah, no.
Yeah, with Tim Roth as like the bellhop, and it's like 4 wacky stories. They vary wildly in quality, but that's what's kind of interesting about the movie. Like, because one of them is like this like crime situation where like a dude's got his wife with the gun, and Tim Roth like stumbles into it. But then there's like witches in one segment.
Ooh.
And like wacky Spy Kids hijinks in another one. Like there's the stories are so different and clash with each other so bad that it's kind of interesting to watch and unpack. Sell my poop to farmers. Alright, also I've been commenting on their fashion, but that JB Dornan fish.
That fish is, I know, it's such a good shirt.
Pretty terrific. Doesn't even notice.
Try to sell my poop to farmers and claim it was fertilizer.
He's mistreating this poor guy. Oh. Barb's dead husband, Ron Quicksilver. It's a long time ago.
Oh, Ron Quicksilver.
Let's see, this scene reminds me of The Fifth Element. It doesn't, but I just wanna, like, bring up sci-fi movies.
Oh, good lord, The Fifth Element. I didn't finish it.
I guess she kind of looks like the blue lady. You didn't finish
I didn't finish The Fifth Element, no.
So, what is it?
Riddler...
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker was as far as I got.
Couldn't take it past that.
I turned it off. I get the appeal. That movie was so.
Because the ending is like quite romantic, which I feel like would at least appeal to you.
I'll have to give it another watch.
Even though it is a very weird love story, Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich in that movie, where she's like kind of feral or whatever.
She's kind of something.
Yeah.
God, that Chris Tucker though was like, that was just a whole other level of. I couldn't get over how much it looked like the Riddler
Yeah,
from
this is
Batman,
Jim Carrey
from
Riddler.
Jim Carrey Riddler. He even does the cane thing where he walks.
Yeah, where he like is like posing weird with the cane,
Yeah,
like crouching.
where he
Yeah.
does like a crouch walk with the crane, like he's slinking forward with it.
Now, I don't know if you remember Batman Forever too well, but the Jim Carrey Riddler, he throws a bomb and it explodes, and then he goes, "Joygasm!" And I think honks his crotch, but I could be misremembering.
That sounds about right.
All these gators that she's sicking on. I did like that outfit she was wearing, the white cloak, and her like
her, her Quicksilver goggles.
yeah, she's got like the steampunk goggles. It's pretty cool. If I could stop time in a bottle. Someday we'll have to talk about Roy Boner in detail on one of these.
God, just maybe we'll get it. Maybe Agatha all along will feature the return of him. Wouldn't that be funny? At the very least, that would be a reason to tune into it. Like,
yeah, I do feel like the MCU does have a tendency to, when fans are mad at something, you know, like how people were mad about the fake Mandarin, so they made up the real Mandarin.
mm-hmm.
I feel like they might do that. They might be like, people got pissed at us about Roy Boner. Let's just like, you know, cross out some lines here and there, and boom, he's actually Quicksilver. Or I guess it's a multiverse. You can just meet
Yeah,
Evan Peters Quicksilver. You know, he and Roy Boner can share the screen.
I'm really fascinated to see how they what their plans are going to be for the X-Men now that people are like in freaking love with X-Men 97.
Yes, which I need to catch up with. I stopped at episode 5, which was terrific.
Yeah, you got to finish it. It does finish really strong, but I do really think that we're really going to get like a oh shit, this has to be the MCU take on the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like I really think that they're going to like people are saying it's the best thing that Disney's had in almost like 2 or 3 years, and I think that's really going to color the people at Marvel.
I agree. They're gonna want to like
Yeah,
really go all in on 90s X-Men being like the template for their X-Men stuff.
Yep. Which I don't know if I hate, but also it's kind of like, is that the best we can do? But I mean, I guess it's better than what you would have probably done before it too. So it's kind of like,
right. It's gonna be what, yeah. Like why not just go off that? I guess, even though, yeah, kind of annoying that they couldn't think of anything better. But again, we're preemptively complaining about something we don't even know they're gonna do.
mm-hmm.
But the signs point to it. What with the yellow suit Wolverine in the Deadpool. Now, Kristin Wig, she's not in the MCU yet. She was in the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Cheetah. She would have been a good Cassandra Nova, and a more, like, comic book accurate one, if they...
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, what would she best fit? And I couldn't really think of anything. But yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah, though, now it's...
I actually don't... I have a hard time with Kristen Wiig and Wonder Woman 97 because that is not a good movie, but she very much fits the 80s physique, and that is hard for me to ignore for reasons.
Yeah, I don't mind her in that movie. When she turns into cats, that's not so great.
No.
And I don't like that they, like, just do the Batman Returns Catwoman thing, where she's all, like, mousy and then gets, you know, cool and confident. I don't like that they just recycle that. But she is good in it. I don't mind. She, you know, that movie's not her fault.
No, that movie is not her fault. Did you see that thing where Chris Pine was like, I can't believe DC walked away from Wonder Woman, blah, blah, blah. It's like $1 million franchise or something. I'm like, dude, what stakes do you have in it? They're definitely not going to bring you back again. So
he gets resurrected a third
time.
in a row. He shouldn't have been in the second one, or like it should have just been a flashback. I don't know, or like a little cameo as a Force ghost or something. I don't know. It did. Having him be back for the entirety of it was a misstep, I feel. Though I do like Chris Pine as well. And speaking, yeah, as we were talking about when we were listing off comedies, I'm very fond of that Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, he's so good in it.
Yep.
He's perfectly what he is supposed to be too in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he nails the kind of bard.
Yeah, he nails the bard like really well. It's kind of hilarious.
And that moment where he's got the crazy CGI face because the doppelganger thing goes poorly. That's great. The weird like stretched out jaw. It's one of the better gags in a movie recently. I have the antidote.
Oh, you don't have the antidote. She was gonna kill you all along.
Oh, that's not nice. There he is.
Their jig is up. The final Cylon has been revealed.
Yes, it was the Waynes man. The whole
Wayne's man the whole time.
I believe that's Damon Wayans. But
yes, it is Damon Wayans.
Not really sure. We trust you. It's this kid kind of hanging out on the periphery of this movie as well.
As the top henchman too.
Yep. Oh no, the sight of her humiliation or whatever.
Yep, the sight of her humiliation.
This movie rules. It's very weird and funny.
It's so like it's just a weird plot, but it really works for it because everybody's just having a fun time too.
Yeah, it's all this wacky fake Miami resort. Their battle in the sand.
Mm-hmm. And a Florida town being killed by mosquitoes, which is probably
Yep. This is very relatable.
the most scary, accurate thing you could have done.
Oh yeah. And post hurricane, it would just be these clouds of mosquitoes that would descend on you.
These people doing their favorite facial expressions back at Talk Club. They haven't updated the probable death one.
Also, I'm sorry, that guy was Michael Hitchcock, not Thomas Lennon. I was mixing up my my character actors. Thomas Lennon is Officer Dangle from Reno 9/11, whereas this guy is from like Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show. A lot of Christopher Guest comedies. Very funny too, though. He's the guy who's obsessed with Corky in Waiting for Guffman. Talking about Gary. Oh. I've been there.
Yep, I was about to say that is.
No, they're. I think this was a year before Avatar: The Way of Water. It's like the same thing. The kid and the whale bonding and talking in subtitles. Aya Khan, I believe, was the name of that whale.
That sounds like a name.
He's the Kermit things. Don Cheadle. Mr. Peanut's their crush on Mr. Peanut.
That's one sexy ass Mr. Peanut.
If you want to get some food later. Oh, they sacrificed themselves for. Woo, what the fuck? Also, this movie is indeed PG-13.
There's just dong talk.
I guess you have the one fuck, but he mouthed it, so it's not so bad. And I believe it has to be a non-sexual. What? I think the PG-13 rules is the fuck. You can say fuck once, but it cannot be in a sexual way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like, what the fuck is okay? An official couple with you. Aw. We're all gonna-
Barb freaking cooks over.
Peach is yours.
What's she gonna do? It's like the Grinch.
Yeah, the heart's gonna
His
grow.
heart's gotta grow 2 sizes that day.
Yep.
Now, you don't like the Jim Carrey Grinch,
No,
which
I
is
actually
blasphemous.
really do not. I find it repulsive. A lot of that, I consider it blasphemous to like that one
I
because
know.
I find it a betrayal of a very straightforward and beautiful story. The animated one from the '60s is perfect at 30 minutes. I think making the Who's villains that have to learn the value of Christmas as well is just a terrible choice. Uh, yeah, no, I can't stand that movie, and I know a lot of people have nostalgia for it, and more power to them. I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with the original Dr. Seuss classic. Uh, and yeah, we're gonna have to fight it out. We'll maybe for Christmas we'll do a Grinchmentary.
Oh, that would be something.
We'll do the cartoon. We'll do the Jim Carrey one, and then we'll do the new cartoon with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I've never seen the new.
Did not see.
I have never seen it. And I can't imagine it's a
Very worthwhile.
it's a very
experience.
worthwhile watch.
We're gonna have to do it. Aw, her chest is glowing. Shimmer. Now, the shimmer in the book and film Annihilation is very different.
Not the same kind of shimmer.
More sinister. I don't think I highlighted enough, but all of the fake-looking animals were delightful.
I know. And there was no babies talking. No CGI babies.
Not one CGI baby, so you know what? It can only be like 4 out of 5. If it had had a CGI talking baby,
No, you know that's a different. That is a negative.
No, it's a way you take 1 point off for that. It was a real tit flapper. Aw, that was terrific. Oh, we're not even done.
We never found out about Yo-Yo. That'll be my only critique of the movie. What was Yo-Yo's tragic
Not enough
backstory? I want to know about why. I want to know what brought Yo-Yo to do the things that he did.
You know, some things are left better left to the imagination. It's like the Heath Ledger Joker. You don't actually want to know his backstory. You know, it would kind of ruin the mystique.
The mystique.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
what was
so,
Barb and Star thoughts?
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. I am gonna give it, I think, a low 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think
really the only thing that brings it maybe a little down is the villain and her treatment sometimes made me too sad to laugh. But otherwise, it was a delight. 5 out of 5. Funny, colorful. I would happily watch it again. I feel like this is going to be a comfort movie for me. I'm kind of sad I missed the boat on watching it during the height of COVID, because I felt like that.
Oh, it was a good COVID watch movie.
Like a good balm.
Yeah, it was a good COVID watch movie for sure. I watched it and I like rewatched it like 3 times because was like, man, this is just fun. Like it's just fun to watch. It like it's entertaining. But yeah.
Nothing but joy. Even the design of these credits with the birds and flowers is incredible. I'm liking this a lot. Yeah.
What year did it come out? Remind me, since you had the Wikipedia up.
2021.
2021. So yeah, I would say one of the better comedy movies of the last like 5 years.
No,
Again,
it's
it's
actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, I don't know if I'd put it above Hundreds of Beavers, but it really.
I mean, might give it to Hundreds of Beavers, but it's close, and I don't know. Let me like rewatch them back to back. That would be an amazing double feature, like especially how colorful this one is versus how black and white. Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh man, Hundreds of Beavers. For those of you, this would be good for 100 of Beavers commentary, but but just to get it out there, I pose that is one of the best video game movies of all time, Hundreds of Beavers.
Yes, I think you nailed it with that observation.
Yep.
Yeah, it captures kind of the like being really bad at a task but doing it over and over repetitively until you like kind of know the system and like the ins and outs of
inventory management, buying inventory, upgrading your stuff, like it is the most embodies all the spirit of video games.
Yep. So no, we should do a Hundreds of Beavers Mentary. I would be very on board with that.
That would be fun, just because of how slapdash that movie is.
Yeah, and then not to take away from Barb and Star, which is awesome too, and actually I find them very spiritually connected because they're both comedies that I think are doing what I think more comedies should do, which is like be a little more ambitious with the visuals and have a real sense of like imagination and play instead of just having funny people kind of improv in a living room, you know?
Right. Yeah, and have an actual like a really ambitious story too. Like this one is that, and I think Hundreds of Beaver also.
Yeah, there's spies and they're saving the world. And there's Bond lairs. Agreed. And it's kind of funny that I'm denigrating just improving and talking in a room when that is what our brand of comedy is. I would not say our commentaries, they've not been very visually stunning so far.
I think it's it's a solid watch, and like I said, I really I think it's one of the better comedy movies you're gonna find of the last 5 years, and it's purely a comedy too. I mean, they save the world, but like that's small potatoes compared to the comedy that is going on.
That's all second to have us having a good time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And on that note, we'll see how another comedy holds up, Saltburn, when we do it next week. Next week, guys.
We'll have to. It might even be Saltburn because I really don't know what our next one is. It's besides. I do think we've talked about it before. One option could be Jupiter Ascending. I think that would be really a blast to talk about.
We might have to, but after Saltburn.
After 100%, Saltburn.
We promise, guys, you can
100%.
ream us and flag our YouTube videos for inappropriate content if we lie this time.
He says your YouTube comments, but really it's my channel you would be hitting. But I appreciate the throw under the bus.
Exactly, because it's no skin off my back.
Yeah, it's no skin off his back either which way.
Everyone, give Tanner some citations on YouTube if he turns out to have lied about doing Saltburn. Aw, the crab ended on the Morgan Freeman crab.
Morgan Fremond.
Le Fremont crab.
All right, so Next, we got a Doctor Who commentary to watch, which we won't be same video. So if you guys are getting the door shut on this one, but
for Barb and Star fans, you don't have to put up with Doctor Who talk, and vice versa if you don't want to.
But that'll be out by the time this is out. So if you are interested in it, you should be able to see. You should be able to see it. David, how's your movie doing, Mister Director?
On the ether, I sent it to another festival. The plan is within this summer it's going to hit YouTube, so before August.
Ooh. All right.
Ready for that. And when we do, there will be a link on the video. I'll plug it in whatever. Maybe we'll do a Lovecraft-related movie to do some, like...
I've never... it would be a good Lovecraft movie? Mandy.
Oh, Mandy would be awesome.
Or the one that's... Doesn't he have one that's also actually Lovecraft? His Colors from Outer Space or whatever?
Well, the Color from Space is another Nick Cage, which is actually a Lovecraft adaptation, so we could do that one, too.
Either do that or Mandy. I'd be down for either or.
We do need to get a Cage on this channel.
Our Lord and Savior himself. What would be?
I don't know which one we would do, but I never saw that Prisoners of the Ghostland. Maybe that one.
No. Oh, yeah. Prisoners, where he's like...
In the afterlife or something?
Yeah. Prisoners of the Ghostlife is an idea. There's also the one where he fights animatronics and he's silent for the whole movie, which is also good.
Willy's Wonderland, the Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff.
Yeah. No, both of those are good options. We should do a Cage. We should do a Cage one. You know what we could also do? We could also do the Tom Hanks movie, his first appearance. Remember that?
Oh, the slasher movie?
Yeah, his slasher movie one would be also an interesting...
That would be kind of cool. I found that one kind of underrated, actually, when we watched it. I was like, oh, this guy should have been... The slasher character should have been in more movies, I feel.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna get out of here for this one. Come back, check us out at Doctor Who. We'll be back next month with another commentary. Probably Saltburn. Disclaimer, probably not Saltburn.
100% Saltburn, guaranteed. And yep. Tanner, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Let's go and watch some Doctor Who.
Bye-bye.